Hello and welcome. Today I'm adding the various games from the C64 collections to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. And by games I mean summer games, winter games, California games, world games, summer games too. I think that's it off the top of my head. Actually, for the sake of it, I might as well also include the Lynx version of California Games that's included on Atari Lynx Collection 1. No, is it 2? 2. Anyway, I'm going to do this one a bit differently because these games are they're hard to judge, but also they're very similar, but also quite different in their own way. Being that they're made up a bunch of mini games and they vary in quality and enjoyment, but the overall format of each of these games is pretty much the same. So I'm not going to give my usual breakdown of graphics and that and everything. The C64 games, they're all well presented and look pretty good for the C64 with some nice backgrounds, some well animated characters. But of course they do vary from game to game or even event in each game. But the overall presentation of them is pretty good, especially for the C64. The sound for them is functional. There's a little bit of music here and there, and it's generally pretty good, whether it's the national anthems or background tunes and things. But yeah, not a huge amount to say about the sound or music really. So it's all about the gameplay, and I could either spend ages going over each event of each game, or I could give an overview. And guess what I'm doing? Yep, that's right, an overview, because I really can't be asked to go over every single event. If you're interested in that, I recommend checking out Crow Continuum's videos of where he reviews these games in the various respective C64 collections. Generally, events will vary in how they control. A lot of your racing games, or all of your racing events rather, will generally involve you waggling the joystick or moving back and forth, whether it's about timing or just building up the speed on them. Other events will be about timing of button presses or doing the right thing just so to maximise your points. And the end result is some really aren't much fun and some actually are pretty good. There's definite highlights, that's for sure. But really the joy of games like this comes from competition, be it with friends in person or some online competition. And that's the only way I really play these, if I'm having a score competition with someone or whatever. Because otherwise I really won't play these. I don't really have the interest in trying to beat my own scores. I never watch the Olympics or anything when it's on TV. It just doesn't interest me. So these games have that can't be asked feel for the most part. But when a score competition does come up, then I will have fun with some events. So that is to say that none of these games are going to rank all that high, but they will be varied up a bit because of how much I enjoy the specific events. So I'm just going to get straight into ranking them, and I have elected to put them all together because they are very similar in a lot of ways, and the way I consider ranking things, partly how much I enjoy it and how much I will come back to a game, they're not going to vary that much. So I'm going to go through them individually, highlighting maybe my favourite events or two and work my way up. So starting with World Games from the C64 Collection 2, which I think is the weakest of the games, where my favourite two events are the cliff dive and the barrel jumping. I'm going to place it above Bad Street Brawler, but below Summer Games, which I am placing just below Summer Games 2. I mean, the problem with Summer Games over Summer Games 2 is Summer Games 2 includes all the events from Summer Games plus more. Anyway, my favourite events from the two Summer Games would be the diving, skeet shoot and kayaking. Placing just above Summer Games 2 is Winter Games, which once again has a bit of a mixed quality in terms of events, but I really like the hot dog, the ski jump and the biathlon. So above that I'm placing California Games, the Atari Lynx version, which means I'm placing California Games for the C64 above that, and that comes in just below Abductor. The reason California Games is my favourite is it has more events that I like. There are fewer events in it than the other games overall, but the footbag, frisbee and surfing make it worthwhile. I put the C64 version above the Lynx one, although the graphics are probably a bit worse. It has more events, and yeah, that's about it. So in terms of where these games place on my overall list, essentially California Games for the C64 is 332 and World Games is 337. And that's out of 392 games that I've ranked so far. The ranking in some ways feels a little bit low, but as I only play these games within certain contexts, I just couldn't rank them any higher. Anyway, that's it for this ranking video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.